First of all, I want to thank everyone for being here for the City of Fall River's second annual Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Flag Raising. I'd like to thank a couple of our elected officials who joined us today, State Representative Alan Sylvia and City Councilor Linda Pereira. Both have been kind enough to join us for this event. Also with us is Caitlin Rowley from Senator Roderick's office. I didn't see you, but then you appeared. Obviously, Fall River is known for its diversity. We have long been a city that has opened doors to immigrant communities who are hoping to make a better life for themselves and their family. Our diversity is our strength. Today we are raising the flag representing Fall River's 5 largest Latin American populations: Mexico, Ecuador, Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Brazil. By raising these flags, we are officially recognizing and thanking our Hispanic ancestry for their contributions to the city of Fall River. They are dedicated students, teachers, business owners, community leaders, and so much more. They have brought so much to the city of Fall River, from their food, their culture, to their dedication to our community. With that, I would like to invite a friend of mine up from Durfee Days, Nikita Vieira, one of my friends and a member of the Fall River Diversity Committee, so I can provide this proclamation officially recognizing September 15th to October 15th as Hispanic Latin American Heritage Month in Fall River. Okay, hang in there, Nikita. Whereas Hispanic Heritage Month started as Hispanic Heritage Week under former President Lyndon Johnson in '68, was expanded by former President Ronald Reagan in 1998 to cover a 30-day period starting on September 15th and ending on October 15th. Whereas September 15th marks the anniversary of the independence of 5 Latin American countries: Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua, and Hispanic Heritage Month, now known as Latinx Heritage Month, celebrates the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens and residents whose ancestors come from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. And the diverse heritage of the Latinx community has had a significant role in the economy, culture, and identity of the United States. And the Latinx heritage of the United States extends historically over 5 centuries and has been a consistent and vital influence on our country's growth, prosperity, and Latinx culture is tied to Iberian ancestries, and our culture recognizes that Latinxes are multiracial, multicultural, who can trace their historical roots to indigenous and African ancestry. I, Paul Coogan, the Mayor of Fall River, do hereby proclaim Wednesday, September 15th to Friday, October 15th as Hispanic and Latin American Heritage Month. And I'd like to present Nikita with this lovely proclamation.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Coogan. Thank you, Mayor Coogan. Bienvenidos and welcome. My name is Nikita Vieira. Thank you all for joining us this afternoon. On behalf of the Fall River Diversity and Inclusion Committee, and in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, welcome to the second annual flag raising. Hispanic Heritage Month is an annual celebration of the history and culture of all those who are of the Latin American and Spanish-speaking descent. Hispanic Heritage Month spans from September 15th through October 15th and coincides with the Independence Day celebrations of several Latin American nations. During this time, we not only acknowledge the accomplishments of the Latinx community, but we also use this time to raise awareness of the intersectionality of race, ethnicity, and identity, that exists within Latinx cultures. We also honor those who contribute to educating and promoting equity for all Latinx persons and take pride in highlighting our local leaders. This year, our celebration adopted a theme where we would like to focus on education and representation and how it impacts the Latinx community. So you will hear from a lot of our speakers about how the role of education played in their lived experiences. For much of my life, including the present, people often make assumptions about me when they learn that I am Latinx. All throughout my academic journey, the assumption was that because I am Puerto Rican, I did not care about my education and that I would never go to college. I even had to battle assumptions among my own family about what the appropriate role for a Latinx woman should be. Right now, I am the academic coordinator for career vocational technical education programs at Bristol Community College, where I coordinate the implementation of early college programs yeah. Where I coordinate this is beautiful. Where I coordinate the implementation of early college programs for all the vocational high schools throughout Bristol County. I am also a member of the Advisory Council for Vocational Technical Education Programs for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I have a master's degree in public health, and even in my professional life, there are times where I walk into a room and assumptions are made about me and my right to have a seat at the table is questioned. These experiences contributed to my journey to this podium, and I attribute my ability to stand here from the confidence of my lived experience and that earning a higher education gave me. Today, I am honored to have the privilege of hosting this event for our city of Fall River. Before we begin the ceremony, I would like to thank Mayor Paul Coogan for your dedication to highlighting the diverse populations within our scholarship city. We recognize the years you have dedicated as an educator and the positive impact that you have had on so many of our lives. I would also like to thank the members of the Fall River Diversity and Inclusion Committee for standing in solidarity and honoring this occasion for the Latinx members of our community. And for those of you who may not be familiar with the term Latinx, in Spanish, language, objects, and people have a male and female pronoun attached. In order to be more inclusive and respectful of all gender identities, rather than refer to people as Latino, Latina, or in the plural, Latinos, people adopted the term Latinx. You may hear some of the speakers, including myself, use this term in order to be more inclusive of gender identity. To that end, I want to introduce our first speaker, Ravi Velasco. Ravi is a long-time resident of Fall River and ESOL student at Sir Jobs for Progress, where her strength of character has earned the highest praise from her instructors. Please join me in welcoming Ravi.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I will speak in Spanish. Hola a todos. El Señor les bendiga.
Hello everyone, God bless you all.
¿Cómo están?
How are you?
Es una bendición para mí estar junto a ustedes en esta hermosa tarde.
It's a blessing for me to be with you all on this lovely afternoon.
Poder compartir un poco de mi vida y de nuestro origen latino.
And to be able to share with you a bit of my life and of our Latin X origin.
Como algunos saben, yo soy de Honduras, Centroamérica.
Like some of you know, I'm from Honduras in Central America,
Uno de los países que forman el centro del continente americano.
one of the countries that forms the center of the American continent.
En el año 2011 yo llegué aquí a los Estados Unidos.
In the year 2011, I arrived here in the United States.
Luego me ubiqué aquí en esta hermosa ciudad de Fall River.
And later, I resided here in this beautiful city of Fall River,
A vivir junto con mi mamá y mi hermana que estaban esperando por mí
to live with my mother and my sister who had been waiting for me
a la edad de 19 años.
at 19 years of age.
Soltera y con muchos sueños de seguir adelante
Single and with many dreams of moving forward
y mejorar mi condición de vida.
and to improve my way of life.
Consciente que estaría lejos del resto de mi familia
Conscious that I would be away from the remainder of my family
y la comunidad que me vio ver y crecer.
and the community that watched me be born and be raised.
En el principio fue un poco difícil, ya que estaba empezando algo nuevo en mi vida.
At the beginning, it was a bit difficult because I was starting something new in my life.
El idioma, el clima, por ejemplo.
The language and the climate, for example.
¿A cuánto les gusta el frío?
How many of you enjoy the cold?
You see? Pero al pasar el tiempo he aprendido a enamorarme,
But over time, I have learned to fall in love,
conocer y agradecer
get to know and appreciate
por la oportunidad de conectarme con cada uno de ustedes
with the opportunity to connect with each one of you
y estar aquí.
and to be here.
Algo que les caracteriza a ustedes como pueblo
Something that characterizes all of you as a village, as a town, as a community,
es que son unidos, generosos,
is that you are united, generous,
donde han abierto sus puertas
where you have opened your doors
y sus corazones
and your hearts
para cada uno de los que llegamos aquí a esta hermosa nación.
to each one of us who arrives here to this beautiful country,
Y nos dan la oportunidad de salir adelante y desarrollarnos.
and give us the opportunity to move forward and develop ourselves,
Y sentirnos seguros dentro de ustedes.
and to feel secure with you,
Incluidos también como una comunidad,
included also as a community,
donde podemos sembrar y producir junto a ustedes.
where we can also plant seeds and produce together with you.
Y nos dan la oportunidad de dar lo mejor de nosotros.
And you give us the opportunity to give the best of ourselves.
Para mí es y ha sido una gran bendición de parte del Señor que yo llegara aquí y principalmente a Fall River.
For me, it has been a great blessing on behalf of the Lord that I arrived here and specifically to the city of Fall River.
El poder disfrutar cada día de servirle a Él juntamente con mi familia.
And to be able to enjoy every day serving Him and living with my family.
Le agradezco a Él por haber escogido esta hermosa tierra que fluye leche y miel.
And I'm grateful to Him for having chosen this wonderful land that brims with milk and honey.
Y dármela para que sea mi hogar y bendecir a mis hijos y a mis futuras generaciones.
And to give it to me so that it can be my home and to bless my children and my future generations.
Estoy segura que todos mis hermanos hispanos y yo que vivimos aquí,
And I am certain that all of my brothers and sisters, all my Hispanic brothers and sisters who live here
que convivimos y compartimos,
in community, who take part with,
y en ocasiones hacemos casos de parentesco,
and in some occasions take part as guardians,
formando nuestras familias, hogares,
forming our families and our homes,
formando equipos de trabajo,
forming colleagues at work,
velando por el bienestar del prójimo,
watching over for the well-being of our brother and sister,
junto a todos que son nativos de aquí.
alongside all of you who are natives here.
Como le dije, estoy segura porque es un propósito de parte del Señor,
As I have told you, I'm certain because it is a purpose of the Lord
no por una casualidad de la vida.
and not a coincidence of life.
Como país, estado y ciudad,
As a country, state, and city,
y cada habitante de Fall River,
and each habitant of Fall River,
por supuesto a las autoridades y a todos el equipo que trabajan arduamente
and for all the authorities and teams who work diligently
y dan lo mejor para cada uno de nosotros.
and give of your best to each one of us.
Quiero darles las gracias
I want to thank you
por cada una de sus ayudas para nosotros los hispanos.
for all of each of your assistance to all of us Hispanics.
El que estemos aquí reunidos significa mucho para nosotros.
The fact that we are here together means a lot to us.
El que estemos aquí significa que hay unidad y hay amor.
The fact that we're here signifies that there is unity and there is love.
A la misma vez, quiero aprovechar
At the same time, I want to take this opportunity
de decir lo siento,
to say, I'm sorry,
perdón,
forgive me,
por todos aquellos que tal vez no hemos representado bien a la comunidad hispana.
for all of those among us who perhaps have not best represented the Hispanic community,
Que han cometido errores.
who have made mistakes.
Somos humanos
We are human,
y algunas veces no sabemos cómo hacer las cosas bien.
and there are times where we don't know how to do things right.
Gracias por ser de bendición para cada uno de nosotros,
Thank you for being a blessing to each one of us,
porque aquí hemos tenido lo que en nuestros países nos hacía falta.
because here we've been able to have what was missing from our native countries.
Nos dan la fuerza, la seguridad para seguir adelante.
We're given the strength and the security to move forward.
Aunque pasemos o estemos en diferentes circunstancias,
Whether we go through or are presently in different circumstances,
tengamos diferentes sueños, logros, metas,
that we have different dreams, goals, achievements,
experiencias, cambios y adaptaciones.
experiences, changes, and adaptations.
Algunos nos cuesta más lograrlos, algo otros no.
For some of us, we have to work harder to achieve those. For others, no.
También hay momentos difíciles, fáciles,
Sometimes there are difficult moments, easy moments,
momentos de alegría, tristeza,
moments of joy and sadness,
abundancia, escasez,
moments of abundance and moments of scarcity,
salud o enfermedad.
health or sickness.
Sabemos que todo nos ayuda al crecimiento y madurez como seres humanos.
We know that all of it helps us to grow and mature as human beings.
La clave es cómo cada uno de nosotros aprendemos a enfrentar cada transición en la vida.
The key is how we all learn to confront and move through each transition in life.
En este día no solo represento a mis hermanos hondureños,
On this day, I don't only represent my Honduran brothers and sisters,
sino que también represento a otros hermanos que son de diferentes países, como ustedes saben.
but I also represent other brothers and sisters from distinct countries, as you well know.
A todos aquellos que viven en esta ciudad,
To all of those who live in this city,
déjenme decirles que somos una comunidad de fe,
let me tell you that we are a community of faith
con grandes ganas de salir adelante,
with great drive to move forward.
gente luchadora,
We are fighters,
trabajadores,
hard workers,
con muchos dones y talentos extraordinarios,
with great gifts and talents, extraordinary gifts and talents,
que comparte y ayuda a los suyos que quedaron en sus países.
that helps and shares with their families who continue to live in other countries.
Represento también a aquellos que salen de sus hogares,
I represent also those who leave their homes,
dispuestos a trabajar día tras día,
ready to work day after day,
marcar la diferencia y dar lo mejor de cada uno.
to notice the difference and to give the best of each one of us.
Personas agradecidas por cada oportunidad que se les da.
People who are grateful for each opportunity that is given to them.
Hoy celebramos esa herencia hispana
Today we celebrate that Hispanic heritage
que nos caracteriza como una cultura hermosa,
that characterizes us as a beautiful culture,
tradición, origen,
tradition, origin,
idioma.
language.
¿A cuántos les gusta el español?
How many people like Spanish?
¡Yeah! Es hermoso, sí.
It's beautiful, yes.
Nuestra fe en nuestro Señor Jesucristo.
Our faith in our Lord Jesus Christ.
Quiero que sepan que nuestras tierras no siempre hablaron español.
I want you to know that in our lands, They didn't always speak Spanish.
Era hablado en diferentes lenguas de indígenas
We spoke in different indigenous languages.
y el español se introdujo con la conquista de los españoles,
And Spanish was introduced with the Spanish conquest,
el cual fue abriendo camino para cambios
which began opening a path for change
y descubrimiento, el cual nos conectaría con el mundo entero.
and discovery, which would connect us with the entire world.
Aunque hubieron luchas, muertes, enfrentamientos,
Although there were battles, deaths, and confrontations,
acuerdos de paz,
treaties for peace,
hoy nos sirve como historia y saber de dónde venimos,
today it serves us as our history and knowledge of where we come from,
quiénes somos,
who we are.
y hoy en día también creo que estamos marcando otra historia.
And today, I think we're also beginning to tell a new story.
Al estar aquí para nuestras futuras generaciones.
To be here for our future generations.
¿Cuántos le damos gracias al Señor por permitir esa conquista de los españoles?
How many of us thank the Lord for allowing that conquest by the Spanish?
Porque nos ha dado la oportunidad de identificarnos como hispanos.
Because it has given us the opportunity to identify ourselves as Hispanic.
Es un idioma hermoso, rico en gramática,
It's a beautiful language, rich in grammar.
y así nos permite expresar lo que llevamos dentro de nuestros corazones.
And it allows us to express what we carry inside our hearts.
Aunque nos caractericemos en distintas maneras de hablar,
Even if we characterize ourselves with distinct ways of speaking,
de acuerdo a nuestros países,
in accordance with our countries,
usando palabras únicas en cada uno,
using unique words in each one,
eso nos hace especiales
that makes us special
y diferentes.
and different.
Pero al final nos une el mismo idioma, amor, fe y esperanza.
But in the end, we are unified by the same language, love, faith, and hope.
Si me permiten, en esta tarde
If you allow me this afternoon,
quisiera hacer una pequeña oración
I would like to say a small prayer
donde todos nos podamos unir
where we can all join ourselves
y poder pedirle al Padre
and ask the Lord
que bendiga a cada hispano,
to bless each Hispanic person,
que bendiga a cada uno de ustedes,
to bless each of you,
que Él abra sus cielos y haga que esta ciudad
that He opens His skies and allow the city
sea llena del conocimiento de Jehová
to be full of the knowledge of Jehovah,
y su Santo Espíritu visite cada hogar de aquí.
and that His Holy Spirit visit each home here,
Que bendiga a las familias y las autoridades,
that He bless the families and the authorities,
que proteja a nuestros niños, a nuestros jóvenes,
that He protect our children and our young people,
cada trabajador en todas las áreas públicas y privadas,
each worker in every public or private area,
que guíe, que proteja y que le dé sabiduría a nuestro nuevo alcalde.
that He guide, protect, and give wisdom to our new mayor.
La palabra en Isaías 11:2 dice,
The word in Isaiah 11:2 says,
y reposará sobre él el espíritu de Jehová,
and will lay upon him the spirit of Jehovah,
el espíritu de sabiduría
the spirit of wisdom
y de inteligencia,
and of intelligence
espíritu de consejo
and of counsel
y de poder,
and of power,
espíritu de conocimiento y de temor a Jehová.
and the spirit of acknowledgement and fear of Jehovah.
¿Cuántos creen que ese versículo es perfecto para decírselo a nuestro nuevo alcalde?
How many of you think that's a perfect verse for our new mayor?
Amén.
Amen.
Por último,
And lastly,
pidamos poner nuestra ciudad en las manos del Señor,
let's ask to put our city in the hands of the Lord,
que Él haga su perfecta voluntad.
that He should perform His perfect will.
Amén.
Amen.
Thank you very much. God bless you, everyone. For me, it's a big bless to be here in front of you. And I want to say either please continue supporting Sergio because they are doing a great job with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Gravy, for that inspiring story and for embodying the positivity and beauty that we celebrate as part of Hispanic Heritage Month. Our next speaker, Majolette Hudson, is one of Fall River's student leaders and recipient of the Massachusetts Department of Higher Education's 29 Who Shine Award for 2021. Throughout her academic career, Majolette has gracefully balanced many roles as wife, mother, and student leader. While at Bristol Community College, she demonstrated academic excellence and utilized her leadership roles as president of Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, vice president of the Commonwealth Honors Program, and academic chair of Bristol Student Senate to amplify the voices of marginalized students within the college community. Majolette graduated Bristol Community College summa cum laude and is currently pursuing a degree in Human Resource Management through Bryant University. Please join me in welcoming Majolette Hudson.
Thank you, Nikita. Each year, Americans observe National Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15 to October 15. It is a time to celebrate the histories, cultures, and contributions of Latinx. It is for this reason that I feel honored and grateful to be standing here, giving a speech on my perseverance, determination, and strength to represent our beautiful Latinx culture. I am a wife to a Fall River firefighter and an Army National Guard soldier, mother to 6 amazing and beautiful children, a former graduate of Bristol Community College, class of 2021, and now a current student at Bryant University. My path towards higher education was a tough one, like many other Latins. As a young mother, I yearned to go to school, but often found many roadblocks, and such as lack of childcare and the need to work to provide for our family. While exhibiting strong leadership skills at work, I often got passed on the opportunity for promotion due to lack of a degree. As soon as our family was stable enough financially, I enrolled at Bristol Community College, commonly known as Bristol, while also working 2 part-time jobs, buying our first home here in the city, and taking care of our 6 children. Bristol made my decision to go back less stressful by providing flexible class times, and to that I say, thank you so much, Bristol Community College. Being on campus made me feel so happy to finally be there. I like to say I was in heaven, but sometimes great things come to an end because just 7 months after my start, we were struck with the pandemic and school went virtual. But not just for us, but also for our children as well. Stress, and more stress is all we were seeing as parents. However, despite the many challenges, we persevered as a family. We learned to work even better. We had the privilege to watch firsthand how our children were thriving with their own academic journeys. My mission as their mom through these challenging times was to show them the strength in all my daily activities. I strive to show them that compassion and love for one another would win. I love serving as a volunteer of the Bristol Mobile Food Market because it meant spreading hope and love to our community and to continuously providing encouraging words to my peers at Bristol. It was mind-blowing to see so many challenges, yet our foundation built on love and determination proved to be even stronger. Sorry about that. I am extremely humbled and grateful to be another Latin who has found success both personally and professionally, and hope to use my story to serve as an inspiration to all Latins in our community. Together, we build strong. Viva Latinx and Viva Fall River. Thank you.
Thank you, Majolette, for sharing your insight on the importance of education within the Latinx community. You are a wonderful example for other Latinx students, as well as an example to other professionals about how important it is to promote Latinx representation. At this time, I would like to introduce Sandy De Silva. Sandy is a student support coordinator for the Fall River School Department. Sandy is dedicated to removing barriers for students at Fonseca Elementary School by improving access to wraparound supports in an effort to create a more equitable educational experience. Please join me in welcoming Sandy De Silva.
Hello, everyone. When I showed up that first day at Fonseca Elementary, I did not realize the level to which my presence would make an impact. And I don't mean my presence. I mean, no one really knew me. It wasn't really remarkable at that moment. But my presence, my Latinx membership, got me right in with the families. It gave me access to them. It gave me a level of respect and trust automatically that I was so thankful to have. But why? Well, let's start with this. Families that are Hispanic heritage at my school, they comprise 44.8% of our student body. In our district, Hispanics are 29.7% of our student body. And on the state level, Hispanics are 22.3% of the numbers of the students in our schools. That is high, and guess what? It's going up, and that's a wonderful and beautiful thing. But why? Why is my presence remarkable? Why is the presence of other Latinx members remarkable in our school system? It's because presence creates possibilities. Presence, our presence, Latinx presence, creates possibilities to communicate for our families, to advocate for our families. It gives the possibility to break barriers. And for our students, well, this presence creates an opportunity to see themselves beyond what maybe they see at home, maybe beyond what they see on TV. The Latinx professionals that they see in the school system gives them a possibility that they can go on to school, that they can become whatever they want to be. Presence creates possibilities. But our numbers are few. We're growing, and even being in this group of people is so exciting. I know that we're growing. Our numbers, our Latinx numbers are growing, but they're still few. So in the school system, we need to go beyond just the bodies that our students see, and it needs to go into curriculum. It needs to go into policies. It needs to go into allowing our Latinx students to have a voice and opportunities within their school. So today, as we celebrate Latinx Heritage Month and raise our beautiful flags, let's decide collectively to raise our awareness of the power of presence to open doors and possibilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy, for sharing your experience with us, and thank you for all of the work you do in our public education system. Our next speaker is Carlos Avila. Carlos is the Associate Director of Bristol Community College's College Access Programs. Carlos is a celebrated Latino professional known for his recent contribution to improving equitable access to higher education through Bristol's partnership with BMC Durfee's Early College Initiative. Welcome, Carlos.
Thank you, Nikita, and thank you everyone for being here today. I'm going to speak briefly on my experience in education and the positive change that it has had on my life. Again, my name is Carlos Avila. I'd like to thank the City of Fall River for hosting Hispanic Heritage Month. As a Latino male born in Puerto Rico, this makes me feel welcomed in your community. My personal experience resembles that of your local Latino students today. When my family arrived from Puerto Rico, we moved to Lynn, Massachusetts. That's a gateway city like Fall River in the North Shore of the Commonwealth. Later, we settled in Salem, which is another gateway city comparable to Fall River. Education has changed my life, but my initial experiences when we arrived were full of limitations rather than opportunities, because of the perception that a non-native speaker would not do well in advanced coursework. This perception, altered my self-image and made me feel that I was not worthy of going to college. But my eyes were opened in 11th grade by my history teacher named Mr. Eastman. He actually made me feel welcome in his class, and he challenged me. He was the first professor to ever, push me to do more than what I thought I was capable of doing. Through that challenge, he brought me under his wing and introduced me to the idea of internships. I had no idea what that meant, but it was a great opportunity to learn about future careers. Through him, I interned at the PBS Museum in Salem, Massachusetts, and then joined a cultural exchange program with Kamehameha schools in Oahu, Hawaii. So coming from, a kid that did not feel accepted, I was then on a track to see the world. So aside from arriving from Puerto Rico, we had never traveled anywhere outside of New England. So just from that one interaction, my life was changed. During my time at Springfield College, I had the opportunity to intern at the Smithsonian Institution in Washington, D.C. on the exhibit for Celia Cruz, a renowned Afro-Cuban singer for the exhibit Azúcar, The Life and Times of Celia Cruz. Again, someone who had never left the North Shore was now traveling the country. These experiences stemmed from one simple question. Carlos, what do you want to do with your life after high school? I had no idea. So Mr. Eastman actually took me under his wing and showed me the way. Although I may not be able to secure the same type of trips to the students in Fall River, I hope that by exposing them to the opportunities provided by education, that I may make the residents of Fall River feel empowered to live out their dreams. Dreams lead to great ideas, which can have life-changing effects and positive impacts for the community as a whole. The Fall River Public School District, in partnership with Bristol Community College, is helping students begin the process of living out their collegiate dreams. This partnership achieved the coveted early college designation that will provide underserved populations opportunities and access to services that will prepare them for future industry or college. The leadership that Fall River Public School System has showed has had a tremendous impact on my program at Bristol Community College. In 2 years' time, we went from having 7 Latino students in the fall of 2019 to 59 in the fall of 2021. This is an over 700% increase in 2 years, and the totals that I have in the fall this semester have outpaced prior year production. So I cannot thank the early college initiative enough. So Fall River's status as a gateway city raises a hardworking community. Students from gateway cities are resourceful and resilient. I was once a student in ELL courses on transitional assistance, but through education, I achieved my master's degree, traveled the world, and achieved the dream of homeownership within one generation. Education was my way out. That's the way out I was able to break the cycle, and I see the same determination in the youth of Fall River. It was on display every day during the remote learning environment of 2020 and the significant challenges posed by COVID-19. But the future is bright within your students, and they'll lead the way. Thank you for your time and the opportunity to share my experience. Have a great day.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you so much for contributing to providing a pathway to higher education for the underserved students in Fall River. Our next speaker, Carina Valencia, is an Assistant Attorney General for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Attorney Valencia is a prominent Latinx professional known for her representation of criminal defendants as well as advocacy for victims of crime and immigrants facing deportation. A first-generation immigrant, she dedicated her career to public service and promoting diversity and inclusion at every opportunity. Please join me in welcoming Assistant Attorney General Carina Valencia.
Thank you. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Nikita, and Mayor Coogan and the Diversity and Inclusion Committee for inviting me to share some of my thoughts today. Sometimes people are really surprised to learn that I'm Latinx. I don't exactly look like the average picture that's promoted on TV or in the internet of what a Latinx person looks like. Even among some other Latinx people, especially on the East Coast, sometimes they're surprised to learn that I'm Mexican American. We often spend a lot of time discussing those things that make us different and unique and beautiful. Latinx History Month is a celebration of those things that unify us. There are 33 different countries in Latin America and the Caribbean, each with their own cultures and traditions, each with a variety of language and dialects spoken, and a variety of distinct indigenous roots. I think just in Mexico alone, there are 70 different indigenous communities. Each country also has its own story, its own origin story, its own story about its place in this world, and its own story about colonization and all its consequences, the bad but also the good, has been mentioned before here today. If you identify as Latinx, your roots are from one of these 33 countries, and you have your own stories too. Stories about migration, stories about discrimination, These are some of the stories that unify us under shared experience. But we also have stories about assimilation too. There's something really beautiful about that part that I don't think we speak enough about. About 2 blocks from here, if we all walked over, we could order a plate of Mexican food cooked by a woman born in Guadalajara while we sat outside, and maybe there's an Irish American kid listening to reggaeton in a Honda. There's something really beautiful about that. About how all of that mixture makes us all better. And a couple of people have spoken a little bit about this. I think Ms. De Silva spoke about it as presence. I use the term representation. Representation matters because it gives us all a chance to tell our stories. And when we do that, we realize how many shared experiences we truly have. So representation helps our understanding of each other grow. When we hear a new version of an old story, it helps us empathize with the humanity in those people and that person and that culture. And that makes us better people. Representation matters because when we see ourselves reflected in the world, it makes the challenges we face less daunting. It makes the world less lonely. And it makes our dreams seem a little bit more possible. So it's been beautiful to sit here and listen to all of you today. I'm so proud and happy that there's so much more Latinx representation, not only in private, but in public service, in education. I was born in Fall River, and other than my dad and my uncles, I didn't know any other Mexican American kids. It wasn't until I got to middle school that there were a bunch of Puerto Rican kids in middle school with me. So the benefit of that is that my Spanish is pretty good because I was only my dad's little bubble, right? But the downside of that was that I often couldn't see myself in the world or in the community. So I just want to end by thanking all of you for being present, for providing that positive representation. Because whether you think it does or doesn't matter, whether you work at Price Right or sell tacos or work at Bristol, whatever it is that you do, it matters. Kids see that. They're watching, and it means a lot. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Carina, for taking time today to join us in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. As noted earlier, we are also joined here today by one of our state representatives and city council members. Over the past few years, I have at least been more active in advocacy work here in the city. I have noted their unwavering support, constant presence at these events, and sincere efforts to listen and to engage members of the community on issues of diversity and inclusion. So I want to thank everyone for taking time out their day to be here. Unfortunately, Mayor Coogan could not be here to raise the flags with us, but we thank him for his unwavering support in all of our endeavors on the Fall River Diversity and Inclusion Committee. And if we can invite Majolette, please, and Ravi to raise our flags, please. Thank you. So right there on the side is the lever. So you go halfway, and then Ravi will go halfway. Okay. Thank you. Oh, excuse me.